Greetings, YouTube. In the last couple of years, Kabam deserves a lot of credit for basically buffing crystals and events to make the rewards more in line with how the game has progressed, especially for the quote-unquote in-game community and for the community that really pushes hard to become uncollected, which, as a reminder, involves two things: being at least level 40 and completing at least one path fully of Act 5, Chapter 2, including beating the Collector, who is appropriately named the Collector because he will collect your units and your revives and your potions in order to give you that title. So we've seen a lot of improvements with crystals. The best improvement of 2018 in my book is the Peak Milestones, which gives you a crazy amount of good rewards for doing the same things that you were doing in the game before. But the one crystal that they have not ever touched is the crystal in front of you. Actually, it's two crystals, really. It's the lesser solo crystal, and it is the greater solo crystal for solo events, aka events that you don't do with your alliance, but you instead do by yourself. Now, the problem is, since these crystals haven't been updated, most of the items just go in your inventory overflow. I can't tell you how many overflow I've got of 3-star and 2-star awakening gems. The 6 stones, I guess I still kind of appreciate, especially the 2-star and 3-star ones for my new champs. But, it would be so much better if they buffed these for people. There's basically a controversy in my live stream when discussing this with my subs. Some people said this is an uncollected milestone. Some say once you complete Act 4. I don't know what the right answer to that is. You might comment below and let me know that. I think the uncollected one's usually the safe bet just because so many other things are triggered in the game's meta when you become uncollected and have that title. But as you can see when we're pulling up this lesser, most of it involves 2-star and 3-star signature stones, awakening gems, and boosts. Now, this does not help in terms of progression the top tier players at all. And I think it should to a certain degree. Now, it's a lesser solo crystal, so we still want it to be something that isn't too OP and yet kind of fits the progression of many. So I actually think in this case, most of the percentages don't need to change. I think the arena boosts are fine at 25% of the items you get from these crystals. They just need to be 4-star arena boosts instead of 3 stars. Now, the lesser boosts can be turned into a greater boost. I think that's an easy change for the 16%. Now, the rest of the items, the percentages would have to be tweaked accordingly to not make these things too powerful, because I respect the fact that Kabam is a for-profit company that still needs to make money. But at the same time, there need to be enough incentives to actually reward the player for getting these crystals. So, I think 3-star signature stones should be replacing the 2-star signature stones. And then I think the 22% is fine. Now, everything else I'm about to say, you can put the percentages pretty low, but I think that you could argue that there needs to be about a 9% chance for a 4-star signature stone, about a 1.73% chance for this is kind of a discussion in terms of which item we think is best, but I think actually let's scratch the 1.73% and let's carry over a drop rate from the next crystal we'll look at. I think a 0.45% chance for a class-based 4-star awakening gem from this. Again, 0.45%. You're going to get that like maybe once or twice a year with the RNG being the way it is. Most of the time, you're going to get 4-star arena boost. You're going to get 3-star 6 stones and 4-star 6 stones. But every once in a while, when you should probably go play the lottery, your luck will give you that 4-star awakening gem at 0.45%. Or maybe Kabam should make it the same drop rate as Immortal Iron Fist, which is 0.000000000001%. But the main crystal we're going to talk about today, which I think is the most exciting one to talk about, is the second of the two, the greater solo crystal, because after all, it is greater. And what really frustrates me about this crystal is the drop rates, first and foremost, with Tier 1 Alpha Catalysts. Those are so easy now to get with Glory, and yet this crystal makes it sound like they're the golden tickets still of the MCOC community, which in fairness, they were 3 years ago, but not anymore. So I would put the Tier 1 Alpha Catalyst drop rates of these at around 5%. I don't think that's too high of a percentage, and I do think that that's going to give players more opportunities to rank up 5 stars, because you need 5 of those Tier 1 Alphas every time you want to rank up a 5-star champion. I think the 3-star Awakening gems should be changed to 4-star Awakening gems, but the percentage should not be 12%. That's too high. I think maybe 6% of them being 4-star Awakening gems, and even that may be too high. Maybe you want to settle for 3% of that. I'll be for whatever, but that should be an incentive. And then the 3-star signature stones should be gone. Those are going to be for the lesser crystals. The 4-star signature stones should stay, and I think that they should go to 20% or even 24%. That would be awesome if 1 out of 4 of these crystals gave you a 4-star sig stone. And then I think you take out the lesser boost. You make the arena boosts only 4 or 5-star arena boosts. Ideally, 5-star arena boosts would be amazing, and you just drop the drop rate. But I do think the top prize in this, at a 0.45% chance, should be either a generic 4-star Awakening gem or not a 5-star Awakening gem. I think that's too generous. I don't think that's ever going to happen. But I do think if you changed it in this case to maybe from 0.45% to like 2%, and you did 5-star sig stones, that would be awesome. Because 5-star signature stones are still so incredibly rare, and we really need them as a community to get so many newer champions to their OP status. Especially, I'm thinking of a champ like 5-star OG Vision that needs to be Sig 200 to be the equivalent of the 4-star Sig 99. So yeah, I am trying to tweak the percentages, and as always, I'm open to tweaking them based off of feedback. But just in general, there needs to be a second level of these crystals for people who have completed the majority of the game. And instead of focusing on 2- and 3-star heroes, they focus on 3-, 4-, and 5-star heroes. I don't think 5-star signature stones and 5-star Awakening gems should be in this in terms of commonality. The 6 stones should be incredibly rare. The Awakening gems shouldn't be in it at all. But if you simplify the drop rates and add a lot more Tier 1 alpha chance, as well as 4-star sig stones and greater arena boosts, that would make these a lot more appetizing. And I'm trying my best to think of videos that help what I call the middle class of Marvel Contest of Champions, the majority of players that are kind of just stuck. And I think that a update to these crystals would help invigorate that middle class of MCOC grinders and would probably give them a better chance to rank up the champions that they do have, because their luck was probably really terrible for a while and they're burnt out and they're kind of spent. But if they know that they've got these items in the inventory ready to go, then that might just trigger a renewed excitement in the game when they pull that top tier champion. So please tell me what you think about the, we'll call them, just for the sake of argument, the uncollected lesser and greater solo crystals, what you think the items should be, what the drop rate should be. I'm always appreciating more data and more input. Otherwise, have a fantastic day, and thanks for watching, YouTube.